You don't want a promotion most of the time when you work in an office. You want to find a way out and into a better life. And if that sounds familiar, I want to show you a business model that most office workers have never seriously looked at. It's called senior placement. And what happens is a family reaches the point where mom and dad can't stay at home safely anymore. They need help understanding their options, memory care, assisted living, independent living, and you're able to provide that help to the family for free. And when a placement happens, the senior living community, they're the ones who take care of the invoice. And the average nationwide placement invoice is about 6,100. That doesn't mean every placement is that number. It doesn't mean that that income is guaranteed. This is a real business, and real businesses require work, but it does show why this model matters and how it can help you and people in your community, because the problem's real. The family needs help. The community is ready and willing to pay, and you don't have to charge the family directly. And this is why I did this in Las Vegas for 10 years, and also why I built the Office Escape system. The Office Escape system shows office workers how the senior placement model works, how to think about first steps, how to approach the business without having to become an online influencer, and how to avoid all the mistakes that I made in my first year of doing this. We are going to give you the method, a mailed physical piece in case you learn better by reading. I know I do, and weekly live help. So this is not just another pile of vague internet advice. It's a real world business model for office workers who are just done pretending the next promotion is going to fix their life. Because that's the point people don't say cleanly enough to themselves. You're not lying awake thinking, it would fix everything, more responsibility, more meetings, more fake urgency, and maybe a better parking place. You want out. You want control over your time. And you want a path that does not require you to keep pretending that the next promotion is the real gold ring. Because if you've been in the office life long enough, you already know the trick. The promotion just gives you more responsibilities, and it's going to make the cage nicer. Maybe your opinion gets requested in meetings when everybody already knows about to happen, but your calendar still belongs to someone else. And the best days of your lives, they still belong to someone else, and so does your attention. And your nervous system still belongs to whatever emergency got invented in a conference room by people who will not remember it by Friday. And eventually you start to understand something uncomfortable. You're not looking for advancement, you're looking for escape. So you look at consulting, you look at franchises, you look at online businesses, maybe vending machines, laundromats, campgrounds, anything that's a door marked out. And it's not because you're lazy, not because you dislike work, it's because you're working plenty, doing all of this nonsense. You're absorbing the institutional weirdness that nobody told you about on your onboarding meeting. You're documenting the process, scheduling the call, rescheduling the call, circling back, etc. And none of that really works anymore. And you just go looking for a business. And that's where the second trap starts, because most of what gets sold as an escape is built for someone who isn't you. They want you to become an online marketer, a content machine, and become, loud, polished, relentless, and weirdly comfortable with telling strangers how awesome your life is. But yeah, franchises, that's capital, that's overhead, that's contracts, and a level of risk that makes most people ask like they're being set to set their bank account on fire so they can wear t-shirts to work. You get stuck in the middle. The job's no longer acceptable, but the escape options look wrong, too risky, too fake, too internet, too dependent on becoming the kind of person who says crushing it without irony. And that's the real problem. It's not motivation, it's fit. What you don't need is another fantasy business. You need a serious vehicle that fits into who you actually are. A business model where the need actually already exists, where the problem is real, where the value is understandable, and where the work rewards follow-up, organization, judgment, and adult conversations. And that's senior placement. And I told you a little bit about it before, but here it is in plain English. A family is dealing with a senior care decision. Mom can't stay at home anymore. Dad is wandering. Memory is changing. The adult children are all fighting. The spouse is exhausted. The family doesn't know how to do anything. They're worried about the pricing. They're worried and they feel guilty. They don't know what questions to ask and they don't know how to compare options. And what they end up doing is being paralyzed. That family, they need help. And in senior placement, you are that help. and you do it for absolutely nothing. You do not charge the family one nickel because the facilities will pay you 1 month's worth of rent in order to get this person to move in successfully. And that's a nationwide average. Not every situation is going to produce that result. Some will be less, some will be more. This isn't easy money. You're going to work for it. You're going to do excellent. You're going to do really well, but you are going to work. The communities pay because the placement has value, and the families call you because the decision is urgent and they don't know what else to do. So you're not trying to manufacture desire or convince people that they have a fake problem. So this is what you're doing. You're acting as a guide. You have those skills already. Can you follow up? Can you keep track of details? Can you have adult conversations? Can you listen more than you talk? Can you compare options? Do you do follow up? These things sound ordinary until you realize how many businesses fail because people don't do that stuff consistently. Senior placement rewards adult competence, not hype, not dancing, not pretending to be famous, none of that. You are not doing any kind of hands-on care. You don't need a medical background. And we give you a marketing tool that stops you from ever having to do internet work or go on TikTok and dance around the place. So if this is interesting to you, if the proprietary method around marketing is sensible, then you can watch videos forever like this one. You can read articles forever. You can collect ideas forever and still have no real path. We help you get organized, and we're going to help you get into a place where you are successful. So if that's of interest, go ahead and click the link.